Yo, how's it going, guys? My name is Artorigold, and today we're talking about the most expensive competitive deck that you can make, and that is Doflamingo. This deck is super good. As you can see, it had a first place win at GenCon's offline regionals. Very competitive place, and one of those things, it's not a webcam tournament, so the people that are going to these events, well, they're really going out of their way to travel to it, so it was high stakes all around. So very good props and congrats to the winner. This is his deck list. Now here's the problem with the deck. It runs the Jinbei, and as you guys know, this card, well, it's $84. It's expensive. It's also really good. The effect is insane. You use it with the Doflamingo effect, and all the downsides of the Doflamingo effect are generally things like it's rested, so that kind of sucks. With this card, when it dies, it gets the effect, so even though it's rested and they can attack into it, well, you probably will clear something off their board. This is something that's very good against Zoro, especially can do some work against things like Perospero and Okiku and other colors. However, this deck does have its own struggles, and that is, if you don't have Perona, it kind of sucks, right? Like, sometimes you just have to consider blind effect. Is that worth it? Or do you use your second turn to play this to try to set up your next turn, and then you fall behind in tempo? Yeah, it has its struggles. Not getting Perona is really a big downside in this deck. You really do need a mulligan for this card. It's so clutch, you have to go first with it. I also think the deck doesn't do super well against Whitebeard. There is a reason why he had Gum Gum Rain in there. I realized that a little bit too late. So this card, very good against Whitebeard. I took it out though. As you can see, I tried a couple different versions of it, but I wanted to go all in. I decided I wanted to try out 4 of the Jinbeis. I mean, I'm not going to buy this deck. I'm not going to spend money on it. So in the simulator, let's try 4 out, just to see how good it is. So I took the Gum Gum Rain out, and I kind of regret it. I actually think I'd rather have the Gum Gum Rain over the Martial D Teach, because as you guys know, I like to play test these decks a lot before I make these videos. I did 10 matches. I'll actually bring them up here. We can go over them. I have 10 matches, and I went 8-2. Very good record. What did I lose against? 2 different Whitebeards. Whitebeard is definitely the hardest matchup that you have as Doflamingo. Each time I played against the Whitebeard player, they had the 4-cost Marco. Even though it's limited to 1, they still have 4 Ezos and they have the Event Searcher. They're going to get it, no matter what. So you need to save a 3,000 worlds in order to remove that, or have a Mihawk to remove it. The problem is the Mihawk is still a bit slow against Whitebeard. So anyways, let's talk a little bit about these 10 games that I played, the matchups, and then we can go into a duel for some gameplay. First up, a win against Rob Lucci. As you can see, I still have 4 life. This was a very easy win. I think this deck just stomps black. Like, you have just as much speed and tempo as Zoro has. However, you also swing a lot bigger. And when he KOs your things, such as Kuma, you can get a Navy out there. Same thing with the Jinbei effect. You can clear some of his stuff. So it's really great. I think that's one of the big things too, is you have this, which places the character at the bottom of the owner's deck, meaning you can put the Cha-Pa-Pa at the bottom of the deck, because even though they are unkillable, this is not killing them. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good against Rob Lucci. Next up, we have a win against Zoro. This is still a pretty tough matchup. However, as you can see, we still have board advantage. The Blackbeard comes in pretty clutch against him, and you have a lot of 2K counters. You have Love beams. I mean, this guy had so many cards in his hand, I wasn't really sure what kind of version of Zoro he was playing. It looked like it was the event version. It had the buggies and all that. But all around, Doflamingo, not too much struggle against Zoro, but it is one of the harder matches, if not I would say it's second place. Whitebeard first, Zoro second. Even though you do beat the Zoro, it's still a very powerful deck. Next up is Crocodile. This was a pretty easy win. He played a very interesting version of Crocodile. I'm not really sure what type of Crocodile deck he was going for, but as you can see, it was really off meta, and it was a bit of a stomp. I think the player might have been a bit new. Next up is another Rob Lucci win. This guy took me for a run, not gonna lie, it was a tough match. He had a lot of stuff on board. He ran a very different version of CP9 than I was used to. It had a lot of explosive power. He used his leader effect, But because of that, he ran out of resources and I was able to kind of clear him up, get him down to 0 life. I do think that this was a bit of a tougher match compared to the first version of it. If you get the right things with the Dofi leader effect, it makes the game very easy or a bit tougher. Next up is Ace. This was a bit of a difficult run at the beginning, but I think I had just kind of a really rough hand in general. As you can see, I had a lot of events in my hand and I actually had no creatures that I could play, but I still was able to keep that early game advantage going. Hitting the leader for 7k with the leader effect is very good. It gets you a good bit of early game advantage, which comes in clutch later down the road, and thank goodness because I had no monsters. This was the sad thing. Here we have the Whitebeard matchup, and it's about as you expect. As you guys can see, Whitebeard is still a very tough matchup. I almost was able to beat him, but he just had the 1-ofs. He had the Whitebeard 9 cost, he had the 4 cost Marco. It's just a tough time. It's a really tough time. It's a little bit too slow to try to get a Mihawk in on these games. If you are able to, it's a miracle. I definitely see why he ran that 1-of the rain. It really comes in clutch against all the 6k attacks. But yeah, it's definitely winnable. It's just a struggle. Next up is Yamato. I loved the Yamato deck a lot. However, I just kept that early game aggression going, and it ended up being a little bit too much for the Yamato. And next up, we have another Rob Lucci win. This is something I've played against a lot of Navy. I think in this set, I played against, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different Navy players in my 10 games. A lot of people are playing it. This one was a bit easier. I just kept that aggression going and attacked with my blocker, and it ended up working out just great because he didn't have many cards in his hand. One of the big problems with Rob Lucci, of course, you have to discard 2 in order to use this effect. Which means that he can't counter out of the attacks normally. So as he had 1 life left, I was able to attack with my blocker and then my leader to seal the deal. Then we have another loss against Whitebeard. He had the chopper, which meant I lost. This was the one instance of I actually had a out, but I didn't get it. The only way I was able to win this game is if I blind leader effect my Blackbeard, returned the chopper, and then I would have won the game. Obviously, that didn't happen. But yeah, Blackbeard is good in maybe this instance, but other than that, he's been kind of bad for me. He's good against like choppers and small blockers, but that's about it. I would say that this matchup it's just rough, right? It's a little too slow to play the Mihawk because he just has so much advantage that you might just lose the game if you play the Mihawk. Because if you do that, you don't really get to do anything else, right? You don't get to use your leader effect. You can attack for 6 maybe, but that doesn't really do anything. Definitely the toughest matchup. Those were the only 2 games that I lost. And then we had a Smoker win, which also was pretty close. But as you guys can see, against slower decks, you can drop Mihawk after Mihawk, and it's a lot easier to get that win from that. So yeah, overall, I would say that this deck is very phenomenal. It plays exactly as you expect it to. There's not anything too new in the deck. 3000 Worlds is like the only new card. I guess Gecko Moria kind of as well as OPO2, but everything else is pretty standard. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into a duel. I'm going to go ahead and host a game, and let's see who we get. Show you guys how the deck is played. Basically, you want Perona every single turn. Go first, get Perona. That's what you want. All right, so I'm going second, and I don't have a Perona. This is way too slow of a hand. No Peronas, kind of unfortunate. Looks like I have a pass turn. Yep, pass turn. I'll probably get rid of a Jinbei here, and then I'll play the Jinbei next turn. We might attack for 6, though. If he attacks for 7, I take it. Wow. Wowzers. I think I take 1 hit and counter out of the other one. Or I could do a... This seems like a very aggressive deck. Actually, I'll counter out of this. We'll get rid of these. We can Gecko Moria the next hit. If he's playing a very aggressive Luffy, we can outvalue him. Oh, he kept it on the board. Wow. This is actually good. So yeah, we'll play that. We'll attack for 5. I would love to use the leader ability here, but you just can't. $84 value card. Next turn, we have 6. Probably looking like we play one of these 2. If I get a Perona or a Doflamingo blocker so I can stack my deck, that would be appreciated. I could try to do the blind leader effect. I mean, the odds are with me that I would probably hit something, but you don't really want a blind leader effect. You want to guarantee the leader effect. It's way better that way. Probably going to take a hit here. He drew the Brook, OPO 122 Brook, not the structure deck one. We'll take the 6k hit. Oh, this is actually really good. Yeah, we're going to use that trigger here on the Zoro. Easy trigger usage, actually. Don't even need to think about that one. Okay, so this is the Brook, which is tough. I still really want to use the leader effect. The Gecko Moria, I guess I could use to get another Jinbei. I could try to do the leader effect for 3, but it doesn't really help me at all. I don't really like putting the blocker out right now either. I think we do that for 4, and then maybe we just keep the Love Beam then. So we'll do just 2 small 5k swings. Get 2 cards out of his hand, hopefully. 5k swings are the most annoying for the enemy to deal with. If I get a life out of a 5k swing, that's more than fine by me. Got the Nika Robin, perfect, we do that. And then we could get the blocker, but we already have a blocker. I kind of like this more against red. And then we'll just keep the Love Beam. Maybe use it here. Probably use this for a counter as well, depending on what he attacks with. To be completely fair, this is not the typical Doflamingo kind of route. Usually you get something to stack your deck with at this point. Because really, the leader effect is what I want to be doing right now. The Gordon, he's doing a lot of minus attack stuff. That's fine. I'll just let you kill it. That is no problem. Put a Nami down there, that's good. I think we can do a Kuma blocker. It's fine. Then we can do a Love Beam here. It's kind of aggressive to do the Love Beam, but I really do need to get to like my power cards. I don't have like a Mihawk yet or anything. I think we do it. We got to get rid of his board. Ah, that sucks. That sucks, but that is a good 3,000 worlds target. Ideally, I should get a Mihawk soon, so we're going to probably do 4 on that, and then we have 4 left for a Jinbei. Probably. Which means we could try to kill the Brook. He'll counter out of that. Or I could try to kill the Nami to make the Makino useless and guarantee a clear. 3,000 worlds is going to hit that no matter what. We just have to think about what we want to do here. He has 4 cards in his hand. He has to have... What did he draw? He got the Brook? What did he get with the other Nami? The Zoro, right? He used the Zoro already. He probably has counters. I think we just kill the Nami so the Makino is useless. 3,000 worlds the Marco. And then we Jinbei. And the Jinbei can get rid of the Makino. If it dies. And at this point, we're going to take some hits. It might be a little too slow to get the Mihawk now, to be honest. Ooh, he Jet Pistols it. That really sucks. I didn't get much value out of it. I cleared his Makino at least. I mean, $84, it seems like it's doing work. Even though he hasn't gotten in any attacks, he's still clearing the board against a red player, so that's really good. I think I have to take a 9k hit here. There's really nothing I can do about that. I'm kind of surprised he didn't do anything about that, especially because I could just 3,000 worlds or Mihawk it. But I guess he knows I don't have a Mihawk, huh? Do we want to Gecko Moria and get it back? That's probably the best play, right? He has 2 open for what? A Red Hawk? So we want to Gecko Moria, and then we want to use probably the Jinbei, and then have 2 for a Love Beam. So we'll just attack for 5. Because if it's a Red Hawk, I don't want to play any of my cards. Wow, he took that. Okay, well, let's Gecko. And then let's get the Jinbei back. And then we'll just put the Jinbei out there. Is there a reason? You know, honestly, I could put the Boa and attach a Dawn and then do the Law. I kind of like that play as well, because the Jinbei doesn't have any targets right now. If the Jinbei doesn't have any targets, then yeah, Boa's better. And then I can attach a Dawn, draw a card, and then we can also use the Law as backup. I feel like this is a bad example duel because, like, I haven't used the leader effect once. But that just goes against, like, everything that with, like, if you don't have a Perona and you don't have any way to, like, stack your deck, there's almost no reason to use the effect because then you're using 3 Dawn. It's just inefficient if you don't know what you're going to hit. All right, so I'll probably kill the Boa. There's another 5-cost Marco. You got another one. Okay, he trashes Jet. What? Oh, okay, kills both of them. I was gonna say, why didn't you just Jet Pistol it? Okay, sure. So you used 3 cards in order to clear those 2. I mean, seems a little inefficient. You could have just used 1 card, but that's fine. I don't really want to take this hit here because he might just have a way to kill it. Marco or something. I'm just gonna do that. You might just have a structure deck Luffy. So 2 7k swings. I can only counter block out of that. Okay. At this point, he's got a lot of open Dawn, which makes me think he probably has a lot of ways to protect this Brook, which I'm not looking forward to. I really do kind of want to attack for 7 here, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna stick because I'm gonna guess he has Red Hawk or something. So if I attack for 4, is that worth it? Because then I would only have 6 Dawn to do what? A Jinbei Love Beam? I do think at least one of these for 6 would be good, but I could also just do 4, 8, Love Beam. I could do those 3 and do a 5k swing. I have a few options here, but because he has Open Dawn and considering how many events he has, but there also is a chance that he had 2 open. He definitely has a Red Hawk here. I definitely want to develop the board. We're going to do this. If I did 5, 6, 7, and I have 3 open, I could do this, Love Beam, and a blind Dofi effect, which I don't really like to do. I think it's better to do 2 4s and a Love Beam. We'll do a 5k, go ahead and use an event on that attack. No, wow. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. We're going to do the Jinbei here. And I think we just do this blocker then. And then we Love Beam. That's like best case scenario. So he's bluffing the Open Dawn then? He had the 2 Open Dawn that one turn. Maybe he just didn't want to use it on a 5k swing. 5k swings are very annoying, to be fair. I really want to use this damn Doflamingo effect, but I just haven't had a chance to use it. I mean, I have had a chance to use it, but like, I don't want to do it and not get something. Okay, so he's killing it with Vista. I wish I had a target so bad. So bad. I'm gonna guess he's gonna attack for like 1 billion here then. He still has 3 open? Okay, 1. So he has a guard point. Sadly, I have to take that, don't I? 9, 10, 11, 12. I could counter out of that attack and draw a card. This is very expensive, but I think I can afford to do it. Perfect. That buys me a good bit of time, and then we can do some swings here. So we're going to do that for 5. That leaves me with 5 Open Dawn. At this point, I probably do just use the Doflamingo effect, huh? So we're going to do a 5k swing first, and then we're just going to use the rest of our Open Dawn on the Doflamingo effect and hope we get something. Great. So we use that 1, 2, 3, 4 for him, effect, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for the Boa. Mihawk, you're always so late to the party. Alright, hopefully we can survive and get a swing in. I mean, Mihawk is a good card, but I always just wish he came a little bit earlier for me. I didn't use Doflamingo effect a single time. Well, I mean, technically I used it, but I didn't, you know, actually get it. This is why you really need Perona in this deck. It feels very frustrating to play this deck if you don't get a Perona, or the 3 cost. This is why I actually think it might be good if I played this deck again. I might just use the 1 cost Doflamingo that stacks 3. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't have a counter, which really sucks, but at least I could, you know, stack the deck, use the effect. Ooh, he trashed a Radical Beam. He's going to destroy both of my cards. Oh, he can't get the Jinbei. Okay, great. Well, this is great. If he kills the Jinbei, I can clear the Vista. I do have a 2k counter, so maybe I can still swing a... yeah, we just have to counter out of that attack. So now he's like wide open though. Yeah, I'm gonna take a hit here, but I don't think he can kill me, even with rush cards. There you are, Mihawk. Right when I need you. Yeah, you can't kill me. Can go for it. Yeah, now I can just go for game. GG. And then, of course, we do the classic Million Dawn attack swing here. And there you go. So yeah, I think Doflamingo is an extremely good deck, and this card is very good. I mean, I used it to a ton here, and it got a ton of value. It got a lot of good hits. It got rid of the Namis, it got rid of Makino. Did it get rid of something else too? Well, either way, it got some good hits in on there. It's a great deck, and that wasn't even full power Doflamingo. I didn't even get a use of his ability once, which is not what you want to see, by the way. So yeah, this deck is great, but it really, really needs you to have things like Perona. Like, not having a Perona is really devastating, or the 3 cost. You need a way to stack the deck in order to try and make sure you get the Doflamingo leader effect, and that's how you get that early game lead. And it's weird because I literally played this game 10 times, and I got Perona in like all of my starting hands except for like maybe 1 or 2. And the difference between getting a Perona and not getting a Perona is absolutely huge in this deck. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this duel, guys. This deck is extremely good, and the question, is this worth the price? I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't pay $84 for this card. I just wouldn't. However, this deck is super good. This card is super good, and I fully endorse it. I think the power is there. I think it's probably tier 1. But yeah, you just got to decide if you can handle buying that many cards right now. That's expensive, man. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, sub, comment what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.